am a young girl who recently moved across the globe. And everybody in my actual life, I've been boring them with the story of how moving has felt, and I really wanted to sit down and do a debrief, but everyone is already annoyed of how much I keep talking about this move, so they're like, Allie, like, it's okay, we get it, you moved. But anyways, I've decided that the best thing to do is to come on here and to take this bulletin list of things that I want to talk about and talk about them on here when nobody's telling me that I should stop talking. But anyways, let's start. So, I am 14 years old and I have lived in Nigeria for most of my life. I went to an international school. I moved to Nigeria when I was 2 years old. So I lived here for the first 2 years, then moved to Nigeria, then I would come here during vacation, then I did 7th grade here, then went back. So it's been a really crazy cycle. And my mom was like, you know what, you should finish high school here just so you're ready for college. And I'd be like, oh, and I was like, okay, so basically I'm not new to the US, so it's kind of easier because I already know how it works, but still, it was really stressful. So first thing I wanted to talk about was really preparing. I've lived in the same house for 10 plus years. I moved in when I was 3 and left when I was about to turn 15. That's like 12 years of living in the same house. And the main problem with trying to pack for this move was trying to see how I could fit 13 years of my life into two suitcases. That was difficult. I didn't want to do it because whenever I feel like I don't want to do something, I just keep pushing it off. So I didn't want to do it. So I was simply like, you know what? No. Then it was like 3 days left for me to leave and I was still like, no. And it was stuck at like 2 days. I was like, no. I didn't start packing until Wednesday night and I had a flight on Thursday morning. And so obviously I was stressed, like, oh my God, I'm packing 13 years of my life in one night. I should have done this since. I should have been doing this for how? Yeah, so and I didn't even get everything. It was like, I mainly brought clothes, a couple board games. I had a whole book collection I didn't get to bring. So many things, all my knickknacks, all my everything just was like, you have to stay here. And I still think about things everyone. I try not to think about it. I try not to think about it a lot because I feel like if I dwell too much in how I left so many things behind, I'll just remember one thing and I'll be like, oh my God, did I really leave that? And I'll start to get sad, and we don't want that. But it was really hard. And then preparing to leaving, I was finally. School has been kind of weird for me, but in my 9th grade year, I finally felt like, you know what, I'm happy at this school. I'm happy with the friends I've made. I'm happy with everything about it. And then it was like, oh, you're moving. I was like, really? I despise change. I went to the same school for like 10 years, 11 years. And my mom was like, you know what? This school is distracting you. You need to thrive, so you need to move. And I was like fussing and like, no, I'm not moving. And she's like, yes, you are. And then I moved. And within the first week, I was already settled. And I was like, 9 months of me being like, oh, I love this school so much. And then slowly being like, hey, you're leaving. And it didn't kick in, I was leaving until the last day of school. And I was crying like, oh my God, I'm actually leaving. That was hard. And then having like little goodbye party, send-off party for myself. I invited all my friends over. It was kind of difficult because I haven't really felt accepted. I didn't really feel accepted through my childhood years. I always felt excluded. And this was the only year of my entire life that I felt accepted and loved by people who I've gone to school with. And it was just like, this is because it was a small school. So it was like this sense of community in school is never going to be there ever again. So that was difficult. But then I left. And then it was kind of like nobody really believed I was leaving. I didn't believe I was leaving either until it was like, oh, last day, you're actually leaving, girl. Like, hold on. I was like, oh, because even my teacher, one of my teachers, I was like, oh, I'm leaving. He's like, are you actually? I was like, yes. It's like, oh, nobody will leave me. But 2 months later, school started again, and I'm not there. I know they miss me. That's the first point done. Now I'm on to the second point. So in between June and August, when I came here, my mom said that, you know what, you should go visit your cousins and your uncles and your aunts in the UK. And it was fun. I don't really want to talk about that too much because I'll just be on here for like so long. But I just, being on vacation, I went by myself, first time traveling alone. Sat by two men in the plane on the way to their horrible experience. On the way back, I made a friend. Amazing experience. But all I could think about while I was on vacation was how is moving going to be? When I finally get to Virginia, how is it going to be? Like, I would be like, it was in June, and I was like, oh my god, am I gonna make friends when I get to school? What's my room gonna look like? And I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And then suddenly 2 months passed. I'd been to Scotland, I'd been to Manchester, and I was in London the night before my flight left, and I was like, I've spent this entire time thinking about what moving is going to be like. Oh shit. Oh well. And that was my vacation in a nutshell. I was trying to do different things to distract myself from thinking, oh my god, this is going to be the most horrible 3 years of my life. I was always on my phone. If I couldn't have my phone, I kept trying to like talk to my cousins. Just anytime anyone would bring up school, I'd be like, stop. Why are you doing that? Let me just enjoy this vacation because it truly might be my last minute of happiness. I'm a dramatic person, I know. But yeah, that was vacation. And then 1.5 months of summering in Europe, it was time to come. Finally time to come here. And let's just say the first I had 2 weeks before school started. And they were actually interesting. I didn't really do much the first week. I was on my phone watching YouTube, on TikTok, watching TV, different things. I had different doctor's appointments, different things. That Saturday, I went furniture shopping for my room and stuff. Same with the next week, doctor's appointments. Then that weekend, it was kind of like, oh, you're starting school on Monday. I actually went to like an orientation, and I don't think I've ever been more scared in my life. I don't know why I was so terrified. I just thought that nothing is ever going to be as good as the school I was at last year. And while that may be the case, it can still be a close second, I feel like. But 2 weeks ago, I was not thinking that. So, extremely panicked. I couldn't even get out of the car. My mom had to literally force me, like, time to get out of the car. You have to go to the orientation. But yeah, and then when I was starting school, everything about furniture shopping and setting up my room that isn't even fully set up now was so stressful. And it was like the weirdest thing ever because I've never in my life set up a room or anything. And when I was moving, I was sick of my room. I was like so excited. Oh my god, I want LED lights, I want this type of bed, I want pink sheets in my room. And I have all that now, but my room is still not done. But looking for all that, I was overwhelmed. And we were shopping, we went to IKEA. And by the time I was leaving, I felt so much fatigue and like badness. I was just like, oh my god, no, I'm so done with this. That was furniture shopping. It was a whole thing. And then suddenly it was like Sunday, and I was like, oh, you're starting school tomorrow. I'm starting school tomorrow? I'm still sleeping in the basement with my mother because my room is not ready. My furniture is here. No, but it's not been set up. It kind of felt surreal. I was like, I'm so confused. First day, my mom drove me to school. And I had biology first. I stood out of, this is like a week ago. I don't know why I'm talking about it like it was years ago, but it's like last week Monday. I stood outside of the biology classroom, like, I cannot do this. I cannot go in. I was just like, oh my god, I'm literally gonna pass out and die. I stood there, I took a deep breath, and I walked in. And what do you know? It wasn't that bad. I was fine. By the second day, I was already making friends. This week, I have friends on the bus, in school, in some of my classes, and just different things. So it's going well. The one thing I will say is one of my classes, I don't have any friends in there. I don't really talk to anyone in that class. And then that class always makes me feel really upset because it reminds me how much I don't know anyone. All my life, I've always, like, I went to the same school for that year. So I knew everyone knew me, whether that was in a good way or a bad way. And then it was just like looking around and seeing people interact with each other like, oh, they've known each other for years. And I was like, oh, well, I'm just new, the odd one out, and I'll never have that again because I'm no longer going to be around people that have known me since I was like 3. People have known me since I was like 10. People have known me for like years. And the way the way these people interact, like the people who sit next to me and people sit behind me, the way they interact is how I used to interact with my friends that I've known for like 3 years, for like 10 years at my old school. And I was like, even at like the school that I really loved last year, I didn't even have that because I was new too, just at that old school. And I was like, I really miss this. And I just felt, this was a feeling I experienced today because I had that class as well. I just felt really unsettled and I felt really lonely, especially in that class. Every time I have that class, I've had it like 4 times. Each time I felt that feeling. But anyway, let's move on to my last points because this video is getting too long, which is feeling unsettled. My room right now is a mess, otherwise I would show it to you. It is bare and empty. I have a desk, a chair, a bed, a nightstand, and LED lights. This whole space is empty, that whole space is empty. And my room has always been overcrowded. Like, I've been leaving too much stuff out. It's always been a big space. And this just feels so empty and unloved. This house is still half done. And I just feel not settled. I feel like I'm on vacation. I feel like I'm at a hotel. I don't feel like this is my house. But this truly is our house. And it's going to be my house until I go off to college. So, I don't know. That feeling probably will eventually fade. But this doesn't feel like home. And I don't really want to think about how I've left my home. The home I've known in. The home that I grew up in. Behind. I have so many memories in that place, and I've had so many memories in Nigeria with different family members, and it's just really sad. Sometimes I'll be in the living room and I'll be like, oh, I want to go get something from my room, my old room, and I'll be like, oh, right, I'm somewhere else. But I don't know, this debrief has been really interesting. I just had a lot of thoughts and no one to really share them with. So I thought, why not make this video? But yeah, thank you for watching if you are watching this. And if you have any like advice or just want to talk, or you've recently moved as well, just let me, if you're watching this video, because not many people will, just let me know. We can like talk about it, or I can give you some advice, or you can give me advice, and vice versa. But anyways, thank you for watching this video, and thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Thank you for coming to my debrief. And before I go, a dream of mine has been to have a YouTube channel. So